Today, have the one and only Abraham Toro. How about you tell the world, if you can, what did you get from Mr. Verlander? a little gift.
He got me a little gift.
Is Mick striking you out, or are you
No
going?
way.
Are you cranking it?
So that's when I realized, like, I was better than anybody, you know.
Toro drives one to left field, sending Drury back. He looks up. This ball's gone. Abraham Toro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a second episode of the CK podcast. Now, today it is a special day, right, Kyle?
Very special. Yeah.
Listen.
Couldn't sleep last night.
We all been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for this day. We did not go short on this one. We went all in. I shot my shot, and guess what? It went in. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first guest. Now, he is a Bull,
Yes.
but he did not play with Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan.
No.
He is a Bull,
Yes.
but we are not talking about the Chicago Bulls.
Nope.
He is a Bull.
Yes.
Kyle, how do we say bull in Spanish?
Toro.
Ladies and
Toro.
gentlemen, today we have the one and only Abraham Toro. Round of applause, baby. Round of applause. Wow. Make it work. Finally.
What's up?
What's up? Hey, listen, first of all, I want to apologize. We had some difficulties, as you can see. But I'm glad we're here. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle, Abraham, Kyle. And
Going on. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, brher.
There it
How's it
is. Hey, so let's just straight into it. Abraham, so how are you feeling? What's going on in your life now? Obviously, new update, season starting soon. So you must be pretty pumped, pretty excited. How are you feeling?
Feel pretty great, you know. Season started like in a month, and spring training number 2 actually starting in a couple days. So I'm ready to go and hopefully have a healthy season.
Of course, absolutely. Wish you the best. Absolutely. Hey, so I'm gonna read a couple things here that I've been reading at. Obviously now with the whole coronavirus and everything, things are gonna be a little bit different. I was reading players and personal, they're gonna get tested any other day. Players are going to receive symptoms, temperature checks twice per day. The players and any staff member that are not playing will be sitting in the stands, but of course with 6 feet distance. How do you feel going to all this? Obviously, it's different. Obviously, there's no fans. There won't be that crowd hype or anything. Do you feel like that could be any different for you?
Yeah, of course it's going to be different, but it's something new for everybody. So, and just like any other thing in life, you have to adapt. And I think we're going to do just fine. We're going to adapt to like all these new rules and all that, everything going on. And I'm confident that we're going to have a good season.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kyle, you have a talk. I know you've been talking.
Yeah. I did, but I wanted to go back to the first thing he said, and you were like, the second spring training. Like, so you started at spring training already, and then it get canceled?
Yeah, so I think we got like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
2-3 weeks, and then they cancel it. Yeah, it wasn't done. And now it's like another spring training. It's like spring training number 2.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be 3 weeks before we play the season.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So end of July, the season's supposed to start, right? 23rd.
Yeah, I think it's the 23rd.
There you go.
4th, something like that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching right now, it's going to be a 60-season game. There's going to be a DH throughout the season on both conference. Another interesting thing as well, during the regular season, the extra innings are going to be played with a man on second every half an inning. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to be interesting. Trade deadline as well moved back because of all of this. But listen, let's get out of this coronavirus subject. Let's get into the interesting stuff. you got called up last year. I was there. I was with LP and Vinny. Just happened that we were hanging out. It happened that we had some insides here and there about some Houston talk. Obviously, we knew it had to be with Abraham Toro, but now we were talking about Houston, the Minute Maid Houston. And not even a couple minutes after we got the call from you personally, and that was it. How was that? How was just the feeling of knowing that you finally going to the big step?
It was definitely crazy, you know. So we were at the end of the year, the minor league year. So and I was doing pretty good, but you know, I wasn't think anything about the big. Obviously, I want to make the big leagues, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna get called up in a couple of weeks or a couple of days. So I was just, you know, I was doing my thing, and then it was midnight. I was in my hotel room just chilling, and then I get the call from my coach, and he's actually we were just talking, just like a normal conversation. And then he's like, hey, Toro, by the way, you're going to Houston tomorrow. I'm like, serious? So he's like, yeah. So it was like crazy because like a lot of like things going on.
Right.
So I called my mom, she go crazy. And I had to go back to the clubhouse actually to get my things because we're on the road.
Right.
So I don't have my things with me. And I had maybe a couple shirts, a couple shorts, and that's it. I don't have like all my stuff. So I go to I just go to me. So I go there, and then I'm trying to sleep, but obviously I can't sleep. Like, you know, so excited. I slept maybe an hour. Woke up like 8. Had a flight, and that day it was just so fast. It's like everything just went like that, and it was crazy. My family was there, and a couple of my friends, so that was pretty special to share with them.
Yeah. Actually, a little inside. Kyle, you don't know the story. I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. The day we got called from Toro saying that he was going to the major leagues, Vinny already told his job way ahead. Whenever Toro gets called, I'm gone. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
The day came and it was at night. I think it was like probably around 9 or 10 at night. It was night. It was dark already. So he didn't know what to do. He just said, you know what? I got to call my boss and let him know that I can't go tomorrow to work. Tomorrow I got to fly to Houston. That was his plan. And things happened that way. But, however, he ended up losing his job at a car dealership just because he went to see Toro. Toro, did you know about this story, by the way?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know that.
you know about this story. There you go. So he lost his job, but guess what? He's coming back July 1st to the same dealership that freaking got him out of there. So things happen for a reason. But yeah, so the family and friends and everything. Wow.
So you all went down? Like Meg, you went too? No?
I did not go. I was stuck with LP. LP went to a show, a reality show actually. So he didn't have his passport the day of because the reality show had the passport. So at that point we were messed. I was in a 50-50 situation. If LP would have shot for it, I would have probably went with him. But at that point, we just decided to both stay back, enjoy the show from home, turn on the big screen, speaker, and we're watching Toro on the big screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Is that actually the day you hit your first hit? Was that the day too?
No, actually, the next game I hit.
That was the next game. There you go.
Yeah.
And the other interesting part too is that you actually got called up during the Players Week. So you had the drip, the full white drip.
Yeah, all white. So I made my debut, and then the next day that was the Players Weekend.
There you go. Okay. Kyle, do you know?
So yeah, all white.
No, I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Toro, since you know a little bit more about this, can you explain, Kyle, what does?
I mean, it's just the weekend where players they can, because usually you have a restriction. You have to stay like within your team's colors, and then that particular weekend. So the home team were all white, and the away team were all black, and then you can wear crazy shoes, a crazy badge, just whatever swag you wanted. And so, you know, people had like drip. I mean, I was pretty basic, chilling, you know. But maybe this year.
There you go. There you go. Are you gonna change the name in your back? What are you thinking about putting in your back since you can kind of
probably like the bull or something.
There you go. Toro baby.
Yeah.
Toro baby.
Let's go.
Kyle, you go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah. I guess the first question I want to ask, and it's for both of you, but Toro, you can answer first. It was like, how did you and Mig meet?
How me and me?
Yeah, Miguel. Yeah, how did you guys meet?
Uh, it was through baseball, but actually, I can't remember the first time we. I don't know. Maybe he knows better than me.
Well,
It's like a.
listen,
I'm bored.
here's the
Not
thing.
picking up his pen.
Obviously, Toro's a superstar. Everyone knew who he was. Like I grew up playing against him. He was 1 year older than me. So those one categories where you would have those 3 years, that's when I would meet him. Meet him as in I would play against him.
Yeah.
But everywhere you would go in Montreal, you would name Toro. Everyone knew who Toro was. It was just it. He wasn't like crazy at that point, but you knew that kid had something special. I think high school was really when everything started. Edouard Montpetit, we went to high school for a baseball
Yeah.
together. That's when we really started hanging out and this and that. Then from there, everything just took off. I remember Commando, big story about Commando Toro. We got a lot to talk about Commando. That story goes a long way.
Yeah.
But yeah, he showed up to my birthday one day, just me and him, just hung out. And then from there, it just started. Obviously, from there, he went to college, got drafted right after. So he was just stuck in that superstar life, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what Toro has been a superstar since day one. Since day one, since
Oh, yeah?
high
Not
school.
yet.
Since
Not
high
yet,
school.
but hopefully.
Since high school, I can promise you that most of the guys in the team, they all knew that Toro was going to do something special at any level. And it brings me to another point that I wanted to talk as well, is the fact that, to be honest, on my perspective, Toro, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or I'm correct, but I feel like you've been a underdog. You've been very under the radar. You didn't go to many big showcases or any big teams or whatever. You went just through the system, realistically, just following the process of the Quebec system, if I could say that, and you just had what it took. Do you feel like you ever felt like an underdog, like you were kind of like under the radar and you could have had something to play at a different level at any point? All right, little connection over here, Kyle. What do you think? Gotta be, eh?
It's gotta be.
Yeah, Toro's frozen, ladies and gentlemen. Take a picture of Toro right here, frozen. This is your time.
Oh, little technical problem.
We're good. We're back, baby.
Okay.
We're back, baby.
Right.
So listen, my question, real fast. Do you ever feel like at some point in your career you were a underdog, as in just being not seeing as you should be seen because you had something special, but you just weren't where you were supposed to be? You were just at the regular level, but you were above everyone. Did you ever feel that way?
Yeah, I think so. Especially, being from Montreal, there's not a lot of guys actually making it. Not a lot of scouts. So for you to be able to get seen, you have to go to college.
Right.
And before going to college, everybody was, oh yeah, this kid's good, but it's like that's it. No, It's not like everybody, is gonna say, oh, this kid's gonna be in the big league. So when I get into college and just right before draft, that's when actually, maybe a couple months before the draft, that's when like scouts were actually talking like to me for the first time. And I got drafted to make to the big leagues, and I just want to keep that same mentality where I'm just like the underdog, and I just got to grind to be the player that I want to be.
Never satisfied.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's good. I like that. Yeah. I mean, listen, Toro has not made Team C for what I know, correct?
Yeah, correct.
In my perspective, Toro should have been in that team. There's no doubt about it. Toro went to the Canada Cup to represent Quebec, so our province. He did well. I think you had one of the dopest picture, by the way. I'm never gonna forget that picture. I'm gonna put the picture right now on the screen. But that picture that you were going like this. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Picture,
Yeah,
that picture was dope.
I remember that.
Absolutely. So listen, so obviously everyone knows that you're in the big leagues and you live probably this life that everyone would like to live, if we could say that. World Series last year. Obviously, you didn't play as much, but you were there. You probably had one of the best seats in the stadium. Just going through that and seeing everyone, your teammates, which you probably one day seen as idols, and now they're sitting next to you. How was all that, even though it didn't end as you wanted it?
It was. I mean, I learned a lot from that experience, because all my life I was, one of the main guys playing, and I didn't play, so it took me a little time to kind of accept it. But I accepted, and so I was like, okay, I'm not playing, but might as well learn from these guys. So
Right.
I'm just trying to watch, the preparation and just how they go about their business, because the postseason is a different ballgame. It's a way different ballgame, and I was just trying to learn from that. And our team was obviously special,
No doubt.
and
No
just
doubt.
that last game's heartbroken. Everybody was heartbroken, but hopefully, the years to come, I can be a part of a special team and help and win a World Series.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wish you all the best, bro. I wish you all the best. Eesh.
Mm-hmm.
World Series. Kyle.
Yeah.
You
I
were
don't know.
talking.
I just wanted to say, like, I never watched baseball like growing up. I never even really played it. So I've always Mick's shaking his head like, yeah, no. But I think it was when the Astros were 2017 when they won. That's the only time I've ever watched a full series. It was and I think every game everyone was smoking them like every other pitch. It was just like homer, 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 and then my buddy's like, "Oh, these balls were filled with helium and stuff." I'm like, "No, bro."
Oh my.
I'm like, "Bro, these guys are just crushing them." But like, that's the only series I watched. But like that was probably the coolest series I've ever seen. And the Astros homer, what's the big horn? The big horn that plays or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
He
yeah,
heard it. He heard it.
yeah. That's
I
crazy.
never got tired of hearing that. I never got tired of hearing that.
Hey, so I'm gonna
Every
get this out of
time they play, I get fired up.
every time. It's
Yeah.
I can just picture that, you being in a stadium with 60,000 people yelling, plus the horn on top, plus the echo. I would pay to get that feeling. I would pay to get that feeling. Listen, technical difficulties once again. We're going live from Montreal, Ontario. You see, Quebec, Ontario, two different provinces. It's tough. Connection doesn't get through with the Frenchies and the English people. That's why it's tough right now.
I blame it on your Wi-Fi, Meg, but we're still good.
I think we're good. I mean, Toro's probably just from back home. And
We're back.
We're back, baby. You see, we're back. That's it. We're back.
Okay.
Hey, Toro, let's get this out of the way right away. I already know your answer, but people want to know. I'm just going to let you give your answer you gave everyone. The famous scandal with the signs. Just say what you got to say about it, please.
Yeah.
Toro?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Absolutely. So,
right.
what is your answer? What is your classic answer you give everyone when they ask you the same question about the signs with the Astros?
I mean, it's hard to comment on it, because obviously I wasn't there when that happened. So I mean, I know as much as you guys know, because
absolutely.
when we came back this spring training, when the whole thing came out, and obviously you don't want to talk about it with your teammates, because it's kind of something like that it's everybody's kind of going through a hard time, and I'm not gonna be like, hey guys, like you guys do something. So just trying to like nobody actually was talking about it. It's like the media, they were all bashing us. And honestly, I mean, I can't tell because I wasn't there. I know as much as the fan does.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing people, they see you now. You're playing with the Astros, so they probably think you could potentially know something more than that. But like you said, you weren't there, so they
Mhm.
probably know more than you do.
That was the first thing I said I was gonna ask him, and then Mig's like,
Yeah.
he's just gonna give you the same answer he gives everybody.
Same
Yeah.
answer. There's just
But
not
it's
another
the truth. Like
answer.
it's the
Yeah.
truth, honestly.
Okay,
Listen,
I got one.
go ahead, Kyle.
All right, so obviously, I'm assuming you grew up your whole life playing baseball.
Yeah.
At what point in your, if you want to call it your minor league career, at what point did you realize that like I'm better than these kids? Like I'm better than the kids I'm playing against.
It was actually last year, like, because last year in 2019, I went to the spring training, with the big leagues, and when when you first walk there and you see like all these all stars, like the superstars, and you're like, you're kind of like impressed. You're like, oh man, like they're so good, and I was actually doing as good as anybody in the team. So I'm like, I mean, why can't I just play in the big leagues? Like, so it gave me a lot of confidence. And after that, like I did super good in the minors, and obviously I made my debut. So that's when I realized like I was as better as anybody.
That's when he realized he was a stud, ladies and gentlemen. That's simply what it is. He was a
And
stud.
did they have like throughout high school, I guess, like for hockey, right? Like we play, there's A, there's double A, and then there's triple A. Triple A obviously being the highest level that you can play when you're 10, 12, 13, all the way to your 16. What do they have that for baseball as well? Is it like A, double A, triple A?
Yeah. So they got all the levels and ball, and every year I was winning to one level. And last year I started in double A, and then I went to triple A, and then in August that's when I made it to the big leagues.
Yeah.
But Kyle, here's one thing you kind of need to understand, and it's kind of like I would say like an inside, and I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure about this. And Toro, you can confirm on this. Triple A, obviously, it's oh my goodness, triple A. But realistically, double A is the hardest level, if I could say that. Is that accurate? Would you say?
It's different because AAA you got a lot of you got older guys, guys like in the 30s, late 20s that made it to the big leagues, and then they're kind of up and down. And as in double A's, it's like all the big time prospects, the guys that like kind of the future of the organization.
Right. The ones that are coming up.
And triple A's, it's more experience, I guess, and this double A a little more raw, but it's professional baseball, so like both levels are pretty good.
No doubt about it. I'm gonna shoot you some couple questions from some followers that we have on Facebook. I'm gonna start with my little brother. He really wanted me to ask you this, and it's how did you become a stuffed muffin? So how did you become so beef, like we say?
Muffin.
I think that kind of
stuffed muffin.
Stuffed muffin. I think that happened in college, didn't it? In Seminole, is that where everything kind of
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, well, so when it was I was 18. It was 19 actually when I started really taking the weights pretty seriously, and my power just went up out of nowhere because I had decent power, and then when I started, I think I gained like 20 pounds in a couple months, and that's when I started gaining power. I started getting strong and using my legs more. It's not only about the weights, obviously. You got baseball and all that, but that helped me a lot. So ever since, I every off season I said I'm gonna, lift heavy and take it very seriously because that's a big reason why I can hit for power.
No doubt, and without forgetting from both sides of the plate, switch.
Yeah, that's right.
Left and right. Wow, that is crazy.
I could never imagine swinging the opposite direction and making contact at well, like hitting it clean, and
Listen, just to let you know, Kyle, that ball's coming about 95, 96 miles an hour. So just think
Yeah,
about hitting it on your side, just at that speed. Now
I know.
think about hitting it on the other
Yeah.
side at
I
the
could
same
do
speed.
it though. No problem.
Oof,
Yeah.
oof, 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 oof. Listen, Toro,
Mhm.
how is it? How is it to be a major leaguer realistically? Like now that
I
you're
mean,
walking around,
it's
you're getting recognized, you probably have to sign these autographs here and there. How do you feel in that world?
it's even more than I thought. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything's like from the food, from the plane, the transportation. Just being able to go in all these beautiful cities, playing in front of fans. It's crazy, and now it's just being able to stay in this level, obviously, because it's one thing reaching it, and now
Hmm.
it's about staying. Because once you taste it, you don't want to go back. You just want to
Right.
keep forward. So obviously, I want to keep doing it for years and years to come.
Of course, of course.
Do you
And you,
remember? Do you remember your first game, your first at bat? Do you remember
Yeah.
nervous you were? Were you nervous?
Honestly, when I was on the on deck circle, just warming up, I was pretty. I
Yeah.
I would say pretty nervous. I was like, and then once I got when it was my turn to hit, once I was in the box, it was like I forgot about everything. It was just so locked,
Yeah.
and there was so many fans, and actually the fans they were pretty good. They kind of have a little standing ovation, so that's pretty nice, and that helped me like being locked. And I ended up getting a ground ball, but I remember like I was super super focused, and I wasn't like nervous at all. It's like I wasn't even thinking about my emotions at
Yeah.
that point.
You're just in the game then.
he's
Yeah,
ready.
exactly.
He's ready for it, baby. He's ready. Oh my goodness. Mr. Abraham Toro, what would you say would be your best college experience? Obviously, you went 1 year to Seminole with LP. Out of that,
Hmm.
what would you say would be your best experience or your best memory?
My best memory, um, that's a good. I think it was when we went to Arizona for the it's kind of like spring break, and that was the first time actually that was I was hitting with a wood bat because we were using BB core,
Right.
and then everybody was like, "Oh, you only hit home runs, with BB core. Let's see if you can do it with wood." And I was like, "Man, I don't even know. Like I've been hitting for the whole season. I don't even know if I can hit a home run." And I actually was crushing the ball, hit a couple homers in front of scouts. So now that was like okay, like I show you
There you go.
guys what
There
I
you
can
go.
do. So now I can be like I've kind of helped me being like, okay, I belong in the pros, and that's gonna help me get drafted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go. Proven wrong,
Hmm.
baby. Proven wrong. Kyle.
I guess yeah, building on the favorite moment. I guess I think I know what it is for now. But biggest moment in the MLB, right? I'm gonna say it's when you played in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Was it your second game?
Uh, that was it my second? No, that was my first road trip. So
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
first time playing away. Yeah.
Okay. But you're back in Toronto, so you're back in Canada.
Hmm.
And I don't remember the inning, but it was 0-0. And you're at bat and you crank a 2-run homer. And then, but to add on to it, it's Verlander's pitching, and he's potentially hitting what no hit,
No
no
hitter,
what
ladies and gentlemen.
no hitter.
No
There you
hit.
go,
Yeah.
no hitter, and you come in clutch. Like a lot of people probably never get that moment, playing in their entire career,
But
and you got it like that early on, and you came in clutch, and you just yanked one out of the park to go 2 runs up. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
however,
then
Kyle,
yeah, go ahead,
I'm
Meg.
gonna stop you right there
Yeah.
because the worst part of this whole story, this whole amazing story, is that Toro wasn't even supposed to play that day.
Yeah.
Toro, I'm
Exactly.
gonna let you go on with
Oh, way.
explain us the story, that crazy story.
Because the day before, one of our players got hit by pitch, and he was hurt, but he stayed in the game. And then the next game, he did his normal routine, and then 1 hour before the game, was like, it hurts too much, I can't play. So I'm like just chilling in the clubhouse. I think I was eating breakfast, and then it was like, hey Toro, like, you're gonna play. I'm like, oh man, I'm not even warm up yet. So trying to lock in, go in the batting cage, take a couple swings, and then I was in a lineup, and then actually I was 0 for 3 before that at bat. I was having a pretty bad game, and then it was in the 9th inning, and then I was hitting 4th, and I was just like, I just need one guy to get a base hit because I'm gonna do it. And I was pretty confident, and then Bregman got a base hit. He ended up going to third, being third, and then that's when I hit the 2-run home run. It was just crazy.
There was the 96-mile-an-hour fastball hit over the fence, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
That's right.
Actually, Vinny was on the big screen. Big shout out to Vinny. He was there. He's one of the ones that made it, right? Because your family left.
Yeah, because that was also because I was like, hey, I'm not playing. So, and Montreal it's pretty far, like 5-6 hours. So they left, and then I'm like, hey, finally I'm playing, but they were like too far away, so they couldn't see in a big moment.
That's crazy, but hey, it stays in memories.
That's part one of it, right? That's part one of the big play, right? Like there's to it because so that was you hit the 2-run homer at the top of the 9th, right? And then at the next, you're on like third base, and there's 2 outs, and whoever it was hits a grounder to you on third, and you threw the final pitch to get the final out and secure the no-hitter to Verlander.
Yeah, so it was a 3-2 count, and the guy just keep foul ball, and everybody's like, I was like,
shit, baby.
I was like, man, just strike this guy out. And then he ended up hitting to me, and that throw is actually like a little high, so I was like, oh man. And then he caught it, and then I was like, oof, such a relief. And then we're celebrating after that.
That's unreal.
Listen,
I couldn't imagine, man.
You can open to this if you want, Abraham, but obviously we know how it works in the elite level. Verlander got a no-hitter from it. How about you tell the world, if you can, what did you get from Mr. Verlander? Just a little gift.
He got me a little gift, but before he got me a little gift, he took the whole team to dinner, so we ate pretty nice day.
That's class.
A little wine, pretty chill, and I think it was like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 days later, I see this box in my locker. So I mean, I kind of had an idea it was for him, but I didn't know what it was. So I opened, and then when I see the logo, it says Rolex. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, damn. So then I give him a big hug. I say thank you and all that. So then I'm trying to open. I was like, man, I've never seen a Rolex before. And I was like, I couldn't even open it. Like, I was like, hey man, can you help me out here? And he was laughing. He's like, yeah. And he was like telling me all about it because he loves watches.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I mean, I've never seen one before. And then he helped me, and then he explained to me the model and all that. And that was his way of saying thank you.
Now you know.
You're the only one. He's the only one who got it just for you.
No, he got one for me and for the catcher. So
yeah,
both.
Of course, the battery, baby, the battery.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we don't have a lot left. Toro, I know you're a busy man. You gotta do your thing. I'm gonna shoot you a couple questions here. Someone else actually from Instagram as well would like to ask you, what is your all-time favorite player?
My all-time favorite player. I got a couple guys. I love when I was growing up. Vladimir.
Of course, baby.
Was one of my.
Of course, yes.
Because he played for the Expos a little bit, and then he was like the guy, when you play wiffle ball, was trying to do his stance. That's kind of the guy that I looked up to. Yeah.
There you go. So Vladimir Guerrero, Tyler, you had your answer. Now, listen, you're leaving in a couple days. What, in about 4 or 5 days, you got to head back?
Yeah, so the 30th.
30th. Wow, you're
30,
back.
yeah.
Boom. Then you stay there July 1st. Training camp starts. Season starts 2-3 weeks after that. Kyle, this is your time to shine. You have Abraham Toro in front of you. What would you like to tell him?
I want you to send me an autograph. Okay, now here's one, and then we'll see what Mig has to say about this too.
You got it.
I asked Mig about, like, what was your favorite moment playing baseball, like in minor or whatever, and Mig said his was, I don't know if it was like the final game of the season, but he was playing against you. Mig's talking himself up. Say, oh, I'm on the brink of throwing a no-hitter too. I strike out Toro and someone else, and and then he said, I don't remember what he said, but right now we take you both to the field.
Oh,
okay. We take you both to the field. Is Mig striking you out, or are you going? Are you cranking it?
There's absolutely no way he strikes you out.
No way. There's no way. There's no way. Absolutely. Listen.
Mig, nothing. You agree?
Me?
Yeah, you agree. No confidence?
I think I would even let him know what I'm throwing, because there's really no point on just trying to hide it, because it's going to be the same result at the end of the day. He's going to smack it. He's going to smack it. Listen, this story that Kyle is talking about, Toro, it was actually the last year that you played in the LB.
I remember it pretty good, actually.
I had a no-hitter throughout a couple innings. It was kind of deep in the game. Then
but I got a base hit.
Yeah, then you hit a base hit. I think it was a double. And then from there, they pulled me out. And then after that, obviously, the story I told you, Kyle, the game was tied.
Yeah, you didn't mention the base hit, though. You were just like, oh, bro.
I didn't remember it was Toro, but good thing he did remember. Someone.
Hey, listen. So he strode me out because, like, I know he had a good breaking ball or changeup, and he struck me out on the fastball. And he was throwing all fastballs, and I wasn't realizing early in the game. And then that at bat, when I got a hit, I was like, I'm cheating on the fastball, get a base hit.
See, ahead of the game. He was
and
already
then they pull him over
ahead
and we win the game.
Listen, they pulled me out. It was a tie game. They pulled me out. It was a tie game. They put another lefty. Mr. Abraham Toro came to the plate, hit a line drive that went from the center field, slicing to the right, over the fence. Tie game, actually. It was tie game. We were winning by one, actually, because that was a tie game. Yeah. Next batter, ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Lacroix, lefty. On the right side of the field, there was a street, a boulevard to be more precise. He hit it on the boulevard, walk-off dinger. That was the end of the game. Boom.
Let's go.
Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, Toro got drafted, No biggie. No biggie. That's just what it is. But, hey, listen, Kyle.
Yeah. Now
your dream has come true. Yeah, I just realized that your dream has officially come true.
I was telling Meg I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited
to talk to him. To him. That's what you're excited to.
Exactly.
Listen, before we leave, Toro, for anyone watching this video, obviously there was a couple people from here, baseball wise, and just subscribers or whatever. They wanted to see you. What do you got to say? Just give a little message, general message, and if you want to slide a little word to the baseball players of just how to work on things, this is your time. Take this 10, 15 seconds. You viewers, take the time to listen to Mr. Abraham Toro.
I know. I just want to thank everybody that's listening right now, and then it's for all of you, baseball fans. Yeah, I mean, we just hope that we can give you a good season, and for every young player, baseball player that is trying to make it, just don't forget, you guys just got to work hard, and there's just no secret. Just got to work hard, and it's going to pay off, and hopefully your dream's going to come true.
There you go, baby. That's the only way. Work hard.
Makes me want to try to make it in the MLB.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that was Abraham Toro. Big shout out to you, bro. I appreciate your time. Like I said, It was tough, but we made it work. You made it work on your tough schedule. Wish you all the best. We'll stay in contact. And listen, go smack some balls. Go do your thing. And God bless, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for having me, guys.
Wish you all the
Take
best,
care.
man. Take care,
Yeah.
Abraham.
Take it
Bye.
easy.
So, Kyle, there it was. Abraham Toro, baby. Abraham Toro. So, guys, thank you for watching. It was our first guest. Little bit of technical difficulties. Remember, we're doing this throughout coronavirus, throughout the distance, throughout the internet connection, the bell, Kojako, whatever you got at home. It's tough. Just know that this happens. Now, however, Mr. Kyle.
Yeah.
We met Mr. Abraham Toro. He's leaving in a couple days. And I bet you and all the subscribers and all the viewers watching this video till this point of this video, you guys love and should love Mr. Abraham Toro. I'm going to drop the subscription right here. Go follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
And where I was going with this point is that I know damn well that everyone watching this video, including you, are going to be watching the Houston Astros this year.
Seriously, though.
I know
it's
you
cool,
will.
Yeah.
I know you will.
It's cool watching people you know. I mean, that's the first time meeting him, but like,
right. But like, now you know who he is.
Exactly. But even seeing, I've had like buddies playing too. It's like cool. It's cool watching them on TV, whether it be like, you know, high professional, or, you know, junior or whatever. It's cool watching your buddies play. And so, yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see whether if I catch a game and watching them play, awesome. Even on YouTube, catching to see highlights.
We're going to Detroit. We're going to Detroit.
Yeah, sure. I'll be down.
Because of coronavirus, I don't know, but we were supposed to go.
Toronto then. But even watching the highlight, what's this? Even watching the highlight of him
We got Detroit an hour from here. Why would you drive 3 hours to Toronto? Anyways, keep going.
Even watching the Verlander no-hitter and watching Toro make the 2-run homer and then make that final play.
Listen, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I'm not gonna wrap it up. I'm actually gonna interrupt you here because that's a good thing. I was actually I was in my playoffs during that whole thing. In my playoffs, as in my league back home, and when Toro got called, all this happened, blah blah, this and that. But then, what happened is that the weekend that I was going to Toronto, I had a game the day before, playoffs, game 7. We won. So then I'm like, shoot the duck. We're going to have to play this weekend. I can't go to Toronto. But Spencer had a tournament. Toro was playing in town for the first time. So I'm like, I need to go to Toronto regardless. But my plan was to go Friday, go to Spencer's game on Friday, go to the Saturday game at the Rogers Center, and then come back for the Sunday if the kids make it to the finals. I think Friday it didn't go as planned. So then Saturday, I just decided to stay because it was kind of like a 50-50 thing. The Sunday, they made it to the finals. So I was just like, this is the finals. I can't leave the kids at this point or whatever. And right when we were on the bench, right in between the games, that's when the kids told me, they're like, did you see what happened? I was lost. I was focused on coaching and doing just the baseball stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the kids were like, no. Toro hit a bomb to help Verlander get his no-hit or whatever. I'm like, what? As soon as I open my phone, Instagram, first thing I see, Sports Center, House of Highlight, Bleach Report, MLB, blah, 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 Houston Astros, just that. No, because obviously the big thing about it is not the fact that he hit a home run, but the fact that it was a no-hitter, right? Which is a big thing in baseball. Especially for Verlander, that it was his 3rd one and that his 2nd one was a couple years before at the Rogers Center.
Mm-hmm.
So then all that adding up, and especially having a rookie by the name of Abraham Toro coming up to the plate, and like he said, he was 0 for 3 and simply just hanging a 96-mile-an-hour ball over the fence.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy. And it's still a question that I ask him. And just like you ask him, I always ask him, I'm like, how did you feel? And if I can kind of repeat exactly what he told me, he said that he had chills, right? He was running. He thought it was in a gap. So he was running hard. But right when he saw that that ball was over, it automatically hit him. Chills. And I bet you, holy, if I was in that situation, my guy, I would be running butt ass naked like it was a soccer
Oh
ball.
yeah, for
Oof.
sure.
What?
Even like take away the whole Verlander situation.
Right?
Say he does the same thing, you know,
To give the dub?
and it's not a no hitter stipulation on the line. Even if he hits a 2-run homer back in Canada and makes the final play, like that's such a big thing
Absolutely.
especially for, like you said, a rookie. It's like,
It's crazy.
and then you add the Verlander no hitter to it. It's like, man, like I said, people will go their whole careers without ever
Not living that.
experiencing
Yeah, yeah.
a situation like that, which is
And that's the
mind
worst
blowing.
part.
You did
He
it so early.
experienced a no hitter. He experienced the winning run for that no hitter, which was a good
Yeah,
thing. He experienced the World Series. Like he didn't make the playoffs a round, 2 rounds. He made it to the World Series, like till the very
yeah,
end. Lived all that. Even though he didn't play, guess what? You weren't sitting there. I wasn't sitting there. He damn sure was. Right next to Bregman, right next to Correa, all these big names, Altuve, all that. It's crazy. And I wish he was still here. But listen, guys, I can tell you one thing about this kid, and that Abraham Toro was something special from day one. And I think that the biggest thing was whenever we were talking about that one year that we were in high school together, like we had all the guys, like we would all play against each other in the league. But that year in school, we had guys from all over the league. Most of the studs were all in that school. And it was a show out there. It was different. It was a vibe. It was fun. It was intense. It was a big program. But listen, once we started catching that vibe of hanging out, partying ish, throwing a little boogie that we used to call, Toro would never be in that. Toro would be sitting next to us, talking about it, shouting out about it, hyping it up, yeah. But I low key feel like deep down he knew that like, nah, like that's not what I gotta be doing. I gotta be doing something else. You know what I mean? And he wouldn't go to a lot of parties. I'm telling you guys, he would skip all that. He didn't have a girlfriend growing up. He was really locked in. Like whenever you guys think that you guys are locked in, trust me, there's a lot of things out there that you might not even realize that can distract you. Girlfriend is one of them. Your phone is one of them. Social media is one of them. There's so many things that can distract you from what you're trying to achieve. And one thing that Toro did not do is get distracted. That guy would not be at the party, but he damn sure was posting a story of him hitting because he was putting in work. And here's the difference as well. He wasn't posting it for the gram. He was just posting it to show that, hey, I may not be at this party, but I'm putting in work. Now
right.
today we realize that it worked.
Yeah, it goes for everything. I guess,
Absolutely.
right?
Every sport, everything,
You have to
everything, everything.
you
Absolutely.
have to like, yeah, you really got to stick to it and work hard at anything you do. And if you're too busy,
Then you don't
dicking
want it
around
that bad.
doing
If
other
you're too
stuff,
busy, you don't want it that bad. You'll find some
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
what I'm saying. Yeah, if you want something bad enough, like obviously, like you have to have the skill behind it. You have to be
Right.
good at what you're doing. But if you're good at it and you want it bad enough, like it's not achievable. You know what I mean? You can do
Nothing
it. Like
holding you back. Nothing. Nothing. Listen.
exactly.
Wow. What a big episode number 2. I loved it. I wish we could just keep talking and talking and talking. If you
Call
guys
them back.
if you guys have ever if you guys ever have any questions that you want me to ask Toro, comment down below. I can DM him. I can send him a little message. I can potentially answer your question, but if you really want him to answer it, I can try my best. I need a burp. That's why I'm kind of like lost in all this, but I can ask him. Okay, so feel free, message me. It's not every day that you get to meet, talk, or even get to ask someone from the MLB a question, a simple question. Now I know a lot of you guys want him to come here to Windsor, Ontario. Probably won't happen this year. I thought it would at some point if the pandemic would have stayed a little bit longer, because obviously we have the cage and everything. He could have worked out there, but the season starts in 4 or 5 days, like he said, so he needs to go back to work. Now, big shout out to Kyle. Big shout out to Abraham Toro. Big shout out to the CK Podcast.
Big shout out to Miguel.
AKA
Cienfuegos. What are your cookie cooks, baby?
There you go, baby. Listen, I love you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys liked it, if you guys want another one, a third episode, let me know. If you guys have a celebrity, friend, someone famous, someone that's well-known, whatever it is, your aunt, your daughter, whatever it is, let me know. We'll hit him up. We'll try to get him on the CK Podcast. We'll answer all the questions, and we'll ask all the questions you want.
For us.
You got it? Kyle?
Yeah.
How about you
you already have me on the pod. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need a guest, right? You have me. You have the star power. But, like, the problem is like, people want more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They want more. Hey, listen. And even if you guys want us to talk about something, a topic or whatever, same thing. Leave it down in the comments. We can talk about it. We can make it work. Whatever you guys want, we can talk about. Listen, Kyle, what do you think about? Let me ask you something real quick. Let's think about what's going on in life right now.
What do I think about ending the podcast?
You want to end the podcast?
I don't know. How long has it been going on for?
I don't know if people want it to end. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. DK Podcast episode 2. We'll be back. Peace out, homie. GG.